Welcome back to the show. We're now joined by juniors Amy Frazzini and Caroline Gully. Amy, earlier in the season you go down with a tough injury. You led this team in scoring the last 2 seasons, but plenty of other players picking up the slack. I imagine that's got to have you encouraged when you went down early in the season.
Yeah, it was really nice knowing that my team was still all pulling together as a full team and having that motivation to continue to work hard.
And you're someone that's been here since day one with this program. What's it been like to see the progress this team has made over the last 2.5 years? You know, really dealing with some tough losses early on, but things have really started to come together here lately.
It's been really motivating seeing this team grow and develop, and it just reminds us that even when things get tough, you got to just keep pushing through, because in the long run, it'll be there a lot harder for you. And
what's kind of your mindset when you're going into a game, you're kind of rushing the net, you're getting ready to try to put one on net?
Probably not a lot going through my mind, to be honest. It kind of just now comes as a second nature type thing. But I guess just helping my teammates and knowing that my teammates are going to be there is always motivating and encouraging.
And Caroline, you're one of those players that has kind of found the net quite often this season, but you know, at the conference finale against Fontbonne, you guys really slowed it down. How was it kind of adjusting to that style of play?
I mean, I'm up for whatever kind of game plan we have set, so I was excited to kind of stall the ball, and you know, I see everything as a challenge, so I don't know, I thought it was kind of fun just to relax, you know, stay with the ball, keep possession. It was good.
Did you find yourself maybe thinking a little bit more, kind of, you know, thinking maybe not so much just reacting, but trying to consciously slow the game down a little bit, because it really worked for you guys?
Yeah, you kind of have to be aware of where your teammates are. It's when you're stalling the ball, you just have to really anticipate what's coming. You know, is a double team coming my way? Are there people, you know, to the left or right of me to help me out? And it involves a lot of thinking, a lot of teamwork, and I think both of those things were there because we ended up pulling out the win.
For sure. And how does that differ from the attack you guys employed earlier? It seems, you know, you look earlier on the schedule, a lot of higher scoring contests.
Well, this team was different in that they were kind of dangerous when they had the ball, and so we wanted to make it so that, you know, they couldn't get the ball at all. So this was a good tactic, and you know, we scored early, but once we were ahead, we were able to maintain possession, and it was, you know, easy to pull out the win from there.
Definitely, and Coach Kapanen, you know, you looked in the second half of that game, and it was, you know, time of possession numbers were just staggering. I mean, the way you guys controlled the ball. How do you go about putting in a game plan like that and kind of making sure that these guys have the mindset of, you know, this is what we need to do, this is how we can get it done, and obviously the results speak for themselves?
Well, it's always a combination of just scouting the other team, getting to know them, their strengths, weaknesses as much as possible, while also working with your own team. And I think things really came together that day, and it was just so powerful to see how everybody bought in and executed the plan, and also that way came to realize executing the game plan is successful and pays off.
And is that kind of, you know, with you guys playing in this conference now, you think maybe year 3, year 4 conference play, you'll know some more tendencies of a lot of these teams and maybe be able to tailor some more game plans to teams like that?
We definitely know their tendencies, but once again, we also know our own tendencies. And every game this season we played, we became more confident and more calm and composed, and we are a very composed team to begin with. And I think that mental composure also played a huge role that day, that we kept it calm and didn't panic at all.
And Amy, after you guys finish up later today against Carthage, next game is against the 1 seed in the conference tournament, Adrian. They've really kind of been the juggernaut of the conference this season. What's the mindset going into that matchup? What do you guys need to do?
We all kind of consider it as we have nothing to lose. They're the ones that kind of have the pressure put on them. It's kind of riding on them, whereas if they would lose, it would be more of a bigger upset, and we're just trying to go into it. It's the last game. It's going to be a conference tournament game, so we got to give it everything we have and just use all that we have left.
If 2 years ago, when you guys were struggling a little bit through that first inaugural season, if I would have told you, you know, you guys would be in the position that you're at going into this conference tournament, what would you have said?
I think there would have been a lot more jitters, I guess. People wouldn't be as confident, whereas our team this year, even though it is going to be a #1 seed that we're playing in a very good team, well-rounded team, None of us are really as nervous, probably a little bit, but compared to the very first season, I think there would have been a lot more people that were very nervous, and it would have just been a completely different mindset.
It's definitely showed. Well, we have a couple special players from the lacrosse program with us right now. But a couple weeks ago against Olivet, a new player made her mark, and she wears number 17. Justin Zipser has her story in this week's Cardinal Corner.
With the Lady Cardinals lacrosse team invited to the inaugural Midwest Women's Lacrosse Conference tournament, there have been a lot of highlights this year. But one of the biggest doesn't even include the action on the field. Earlier this season, the Lady Cardinals hosted Rosie the Rockstar Day, a home date celebrating the team's biggest fan and honorary team member, 6-year-old Rosie Colucci. She's gone to games for nearly 3 years, but due to neurofibromatosis, a disorder that causes nerve tissue to grow tumors, Rosie has undergone nearly a dozen surgeries, spent countless nights in a hospital room, and has lived a childhood far different than the norm. But you'd never know it after meeting her for the first time.
Because I'm strong, brave, and courageous. And because I fight cancer, and I say, I'm gonna kick your butt.
The team has a tight bond with the big fan. Rosie has phone numbers of many players on the team and will often call them with uplifting words after a loss. The players try to do the same for Rosie.
We don't focus on, oh, you're sick, you know, what can we do for you? We treat her like just every other kid, and she's part of the team.
Rosie and her family make the drive from Palatine to see every game from the stands at Benedetti Worley Stadium. But for this game against Olivet College, Rosie watched from the sideline with the team.
They, gave her a special stick, and she got her uniform just like them, and her little skirt and everything, so she's thrilled.
And because Rosie's a part of the team, she spends time before each season getting acquainted with new players.
She goes on the NCC website and she goes down the roster and she checks out other pictures and she wants to know what, who she's going to be meeting, so she knows their name and stuff. So it's really cute.
Rosie also has her own foundation, researchforrosie.com. Users can log on and donate to Rosie's favorite charities. They help fund pediatric brain tumors and neurofibromatosis, showing that Rosie is much more than just your average fan.
I spread love and hope and joy.
Reporting from Benedetti Worley Stadium, Justin Zipser for the Cardinal Report.
Caroline, I know that part of the program that has Rosie involved with you guys, it was really meant to help her, but it seems like in this whole time, you guys are benefiting just as much from this relationship.
We've called it symbiotic, actually, just because, she supports us, we support her. We go to stuff like the Children's Memorial Hospital, Chicago Dance Marathon. She comes to our games. A lot of the time, they're the games where we really need kind of a kick in the butt, get excited, get motivated. And Rosie's always there, so we want to pull out a win for her. But a lot of the time, if you just think in your head, this game sucks, my legs are tired, imagine going through chemo, imagine going to the hospital every day. It's hard stuff, so it's really motivating, and we get a lot out of it, and so does she.
What was it like to kind of see her run out through the tunnel, come out with you guys for the national anthem?
Oh, she had so much fun. She knew it was all about her, and she loves that. So, I really think she had a blast, and it's fun just to watch her get excited and, just get excited about everything. She loves being in the spotlight, so.
Coach, what's it like to see some of your players interact with Rosie the Rockstar?
It's pretty special because I kind of see them in a different way, and it's just been amazing again to see how every player's role and relationship with Rosie is different, but all of them connect with her so well. So it's really it's added just a nice element to the whole team.
And Amy, this team, obviously a couple more games in 2011, but as we look ahead to 2012, no seniors, a grad student on this roster. How do you think this team grows in the offseason looking forward to next season?
I think we're going to grow in many different ways. We all realize that fact that we don't really lose anyone this year, and we're all really excited about going into next year, and the season hasn't even already ended, but we know that there's no going back from here and that we can only get better and hopefully get into a higher seed for next year's conference tournament.
Is that one of those things where you guys are going to be able to spend a little bit more time together and build some of that cohesiveness, whereas it's not so many, 8, 9, 10 individuals out there? You guys are really kind of together and know each other's tendencies.
Exactly. We've gotten to the point where on the field where sometimes that's probably bad, but we end up just tossing it over our shoulder, and I know that Caroline's going to be there because she knows that's what I end up doing, or in many different parts on the field we do things like that. Whereas last year when we first started really building this program and first turning it, we really now this year, especially towards the end of the season, have really added that, and we know that next year it's going to only be better.
Definitely. In Caroline, we talked some about the conference tournament so far, but you guys finished up the regular season with Carthage, a team that you've kind of built a little bit of a rivalry with over these past couple seasons. How badly do you guys want to avenge that 12-10 loss from earlier this year?
Really badly. I think you said little rivalry. I think it's a huge rivalry. We don't like playing Carthage. We like it, but at the same time, you know, it's a huge competition and we really want to win. There are some girls on the team who we've played in high school who it's just like, oh, I want to beat her. And I don't know, I think these games are some of the best games just because, you know, everything's in it. So it should be a good game.
Well, guys, we appreciate you coming by, and we'll be rooting for you in the conference tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, as they get ready for the postseason, we've got more Cardinal Report with Clark Tusher just around the corner.